This is Ponyo, the 5-year-old Mustang, just about a year in captivity. Had never been touched before she arrived here. She is extremely sensitive to pressure, and she is very, very reactive to the whip, perhaps frightened at the whip, perhaps angry with the whip. So this session will be about desensitizing Ponyo to the whip so that I can use it in hand. She sometimes will kick at the whip, and sometimes she will strike in front. So I will begin desensitizing her wearing my helmet, just to keep myself a little safer. Ponyo will not let me clean out her hind feet, although I can ride her. And so I'm hoping that through the desensitization process, I will eventually be able to clean out her back feet. I can clean her front feet. She's gotten much better about those. But her back feet are the last weapon that she wants to give up. A Mustang needs the hind legs. That's their mode of escape. And if anything were to grab them or snare them, that would be the end. So I can understand some of her fears. When I begin to work with the whip, I actually start in the front because she's kind of works from, she's been desensitized from front to back. We started with her head because that was what she presented. So she's pretty good on the front, and you're going to see some T-touch in here in some of the movements, those of you who know T-touch. And again, all I'm asking for her is to keep the hind foot on the ground and not brain me to make sure. Now here we go to the right hind, and you can see how quick and reactive she is. And I don't punish her for picking it up, but I want her to keep it on the ground until my whip grounds in the earth. So I run along and touch, and that's what I'm after. And once I get it, I move on to the front of the leg and under the belly. And again, not bad about the rest of her body, but the hind feet are quick, wicked quick. She doesn't much like her ears fiddled with, but that tickles anyway. I need the whip in order to do the in-hand work. So, and I need to train the horse to accept a whip, because anyone might pick up a whip once, if she changes hands or someone else gets on. So I need her to be sensitive to the whip, but not dangerous with it. So now we continue the work where I pick up the whip and she walks forward, halts when I put it down. And then I return to just touching. You can see, that's okay. She brought herself up, brought it square. If she doesn't go from the whip, I don't touch her, I whistle it. She's an auditory learner, so all I have to do is just swish the whip in the air, makes a sound, and things are going well from the left. I'm using the whip, and she's not kicking at it. She's doing what I would like, which is just to bring the foot forward. The left side is pretty good. And I ask her to back. You can see she's backing crooked. I don't touch her with the whip, just hold it in front of her. And soon I'll have her against a wall to back up, but I didn't want her to feel claustrophobic. So just walking forward when the whip comes up. You can see me giving little touches, asking her to bring the leg forward and back, and very good on that. On the right side, it'll be different. Now we'll add contact. We'll begin with the jaw flexions. You can see she's a little still gnarly about moving her head around. And so I open and then I lift the rein 3 times, just looking for a mobile jaw, cross under the bit, just a little opening of the mouth, just a little give in the jaw, and then the pole releases, where I ask her to bend to the right, and then the left. She gets a little pull low, a little fussy with her head, but again, that's what all these are for, is to teach her how to do this correctly. Good. So softening the left. And then she was parked out a little too much. She'd stretched out, so I do want her standing square in these movements. So even though she didn't back up, I moved her forward to get her legs more underneath her. And I went to the other side. Work from the right is critical for her because that side she's just touchy about. She's, for whatever reason, most horses are really one-sided, and she certainly is. And it's hard to say why she is afraid of the whip. As far as I know, she's never been touched with one, but she might have been moved through a pen in prison from one. Now I'm going to try to add 2 and 2 to hold the reins with contact and to lift the whip and ask her to walk. And you can see much better, much more forward from the whip. When she backs off, I whistle the whip, but I let go of the contact in front because I know she felt trapped. And it's just a matter of doing it again and again and again until she walks forward into the connection. And again, she stopped, stalled, so I went back to forward first, moving forward from the whip. And this is quite nice. Horse is accepting connection, listening to the whip, and I will pet her with the whip, just to make sure she's not afraid of it. So you'll see me stroking, but not asking anything of her, just stroking her haunches, making her aware of her hind end. When we go right, you will see things change, and it's fine. It just means that I need to do more work on that side more. So again, her answer was incorrect. She walked away sideways instead of forward, so I let off the contact, just returned to step 1, and you can see she's still swinging away from the whip. Hard for her on this side, so we'll take baby steps. She'll do a shoulder in, but it's more because she's moving away. And you see me stroking her with the whip so she's not afraid, and her relaxing and lowering her head. So that was a good answer. But when I touched her hind leg, she swung way away from the whip. I just want her walking beside me. So return to the left side just so we can end on a good note so that she's walking forward calmly to the contact, not swinging away from the whip. Interested in it, she hesitated when I touched her, and then I'm trying to just pet her with the whip and not have her react. I want this horse to respond rather than react. So when she stopped, we took contact again, and she walked up nicely into it.